How's it going, y'all? We're just cooking up some food in the kitchen. So I realized my stock of food in the fridge was getting low. So I had to cook. I actually had some uh, beef already out. So we're going to season that up. And I got some all beef links and breakfast sausage. Or, not really. It's whatever. It's chicken sausage, but it's breakfast sausage. Anyways, cooking up on the stove now. We can hear that sizzle, sizzle. Okay, but the meat. I'm telling you, folks, meat gets that protein up quick. It's no carb. No carb. If you don't burn through your carbohydrate fuel, then you don't touch the fat, man. How can you expect to burn fat and lean up if you keep excessively eating carbohydrates? I'm not saying don't eat no carbohydrates. Well, for some of you, yes. And for me right now, it's as little as possible. Because, yeah, we don't want the carbs. We want to burn through the fat. And then look, and then deplete all that shit down. You're gonna flatten out even if you're muscular, but like then carb load after you burn off some fat. It's not really rocket science, although the numbers are very precise. Don't get me wrong. But it's not as hard as people make it out to seem. Okay, so if your coach knows what's up, she's gonna fix that for you. High protein, low fuel. Okay, that's gonna cause you to access the fuel that is being stored on your body. If you don't burn through what you're getting, you don't touch your reserves, right? I mean, for most of us, we don't touch our savings until we're in kind of an emergency situation, right? So, or unless we're saving for what we've gotten to the goal that we're saving for, and then we spend the money, right? But it's the same thing with your calories, man. Your food, your energy supply, specifically, right? Overall calories matter, okay? But the distribution of how that gets into your body and how you're using it really matters. And so your food intake on the energy side, carbohydrates and fats, should be relative to how much energy output you're having during the day. If you're low activity and you don't exercise, meaning you sit at the desk all day, probably eating what a normal person would eat, somewhere around 2,000 calories a day, and you think that you're dieting because doctors are telling people that you should be eating 24 or 2,600 calories a day when you sit on your ass all day. That should send off red flags in your head. That doesn't make any sense at all. We cannot just keep eating and eating and eating and eating. You have to eat for what your body needs, not for what you want, or not for what someone else wants you to eat. I'm sorry, folks, for like this obsession over what is healthy versus unhealthy. It's like a battle, man. The truth being told is that there is an approach that works for you. So get with a coach and find out what that is, because what you're doing now, obviously, is, well, for most of you, it's not working, guys. Figure it out. It's not working. It's not working. Okay. So for the sausages, look, for the dogs and sausages, when you do stuff like this, when the outside looks done, like I like to already just slice through everything and then brown it a little bit more, right? So, you know, when it looks like this, don't stop, don't stop. It's juicy, but look, that's a lot of fat, right? So, like, actually, you can cook a lot of that off. Yeah, I'm gonna let that rock a little bit more. I'm gonna salt and season this beef. Okay? And the first thing I want to do is layer on that salt. You actually want plenty of salt because the leaner the meat, you want actually more salt so that it can retain some of that moisture in there. It's just some black pepper. You know, beef is basic, man. It already has a lot of flavor from the fat that's gonna glaze and come off of there. We don't actually need a lot. Just a little season blend. Look, so when you pick and choose your seasons, choose stuff that doesn't have a whole lot of extra stuff in it, and it's 0-calorie blend. If you see seasonings and spices that have calories, it typically has sugar in it. So that's where that's coming from. No added sugars, guys. No added sugars. Your body, gluconeogenesis, your body can create glucose or sugar out of other stuff. We don't need to eat it. Make your body transform your fat into glucose so that you can build muscle. Stay strong and healthy into our older years and not fall and break a hip. And if we do fall and break a hip, we can recover from it and still jump around, dance, and pick up our grandchildren. Okay, full disclosure, I don't have grandchildren yet. I'm waiting on that possibility. Don't know if it's in the cards. We will see. Alright, so the sausages are looking pretty done. I'm going to slice them up, and then we're going to continue to season the beef up. We let that rest for a while, room temperature, flip it over. I'm actually going to put it in a cast iron pan and bake it, because it's roast, it's a pot roast. I could cook it like it's a steak, but it's a roast. I'm going to bake it in the oven and roast it. Yeah, there we go, baby. Just need a little... See, look, in a cast iron pot or pan, you don't need to worry about using metal stuff in the pan, because it's already there. It's not going to do anything harmful to the pan. Ridiculous. I love these things. You can do anything with it. You can bake it in the oven. Fry your burgers. your dogs, your steaks. And I think this is where a lot of people mess up because they don't slice it and finish cooking it. They think that it's done, but when you slice that shit open, you see all that paint still in there, man. A lot of that's not cooked all the way. You gotta finish cooking it to the right temperature, internal temperature, depending on what that is, beef or pork or chicken or whatever. Like, that's gonna be a little bit of a different temperature. Most thermometers have that scale on there for you to tell you, you know, when it's done, if it's pork or whatever. And then for beef, you'll have like rare, medium, medium well, and well done. Don't get it twisted. Different cuts call for a different level of doneness. Okay. Leaner meats need to be less done, typically, with regard to beef. Okay. So if you're doing a filet mignon or something like that, like, man, I would do like medium. Okay. But man, the London broil is like fucking rare. Okay, it's seared on the outside, but it's raw as fuck in the middle. Those are all cut up, so I'm gonna finish seasoning the beef. So we're just gonna bring this down to the cinnamon, let that do thing while we finish up with the beef. Okay, here we go. So I'm not gonna like cube it up or anything. I'm gonna just put it in there and cut it, and not cut it, but let it roast in the pan. Okay. So here we go. We're gonna do a little bit more seasoning job on it. Oh, I always put a little bit extra out on the wood because then I can roll it and get all on the edges. If you want all the surfaces of the meat to get seasoned appropriately. Otherwise, you know, you come out with a steak that's pretty bland. Actually, you know, it's got a fatty taste to it or something. Like, you don't really want that. You want it to taste really nice. So, being that the meat is so thick and dense, you want a good layer of seasonings on the outside, so that as it cooks and blends with the juices, it can get into the interior of the steak. gloves when we're handling the meat directly. Just makes things a little bit easier. We don't have to keep this stuff in between. And when you switch between meats, you can just switch gloves. Especially if you're dealing with any kind of food prep service or anything like that, you're doing halal. You don't want any cross-contamination, really. So, we'll do that. So just kind of roll it in what's there, but then put the season side down. Make sure it's getting on the edges. There you go, season side down. Then again, like, you just take off the glove. Do your next round of season. Look, I'm going to tell you, season it really well and let it rest. Don't even turn the oven or anything on until all that is done, so that it has time to sit at room temperature, absorbing the salts and everything, okay, that we've just put on it, laid in the pan. As the oven gets warm, then we can start thinking about gradually bringing up the temperature of the meat here. No, pepper first. For me, the order in which we layer it in actually matters. It does affect the flavor. To a softer palate, person might not taste it, but I definitely have a preference. So I always salt first, pepper, then we get any kind of chili peppers, garlic. Garlic is a master of all things, man. Like, you can put that on anything, just about. I'm not into the garlic ice creams, but you know, to each his own. And like I said, 0-calorie spices, man, like, don't be shy with them. It's better than putting sauces on your stuff, because then that carries with it, like I said, a lot of the sugars. So if you look at your sauces and you look at your anything else, really, it's going to carry calories, and that's mostly from added sugars. So stick with the dry herbs, and you'll be all right. And then that means diet food, if you can call this diet food. Doesn't have to be boring. Not at all. It does not have to be boring. Okay. So you say, okay, what do you put in here? So I put in basically salt, pepper, garlic, chili, peppers, assorted chili peppers. That's it, really, like paprika, it's all peppers, right? Cumin, turmeric, like just some basic seasons, really. Very, very basic. Okay. Now, this looks like it's about done. This chicken apple sausage and beef links. Alright, so now I'm gonna put this oven on. Let's say 325 just because it's just a beef roast, so we want it to cook pretty slow. It's already room temperature, so we don't have to worry about that. Like I said, you want to bring up the temperature slow. Start just by bringing the meat up to room temperature, and then let it sit near the oven while it's preheating, and then put it in. You can actually put it in while it's preheating. I like to let it set a little bit longer with the spices before we put it in, but I've done that before. It works. Alright. So in the pan, have a small amount of olive oil. So we can see here, the oil is in the pan. Not really for the meat itself, but actually just to keep the pan seasoned, and so it doesn't rust, right? It keeps this nice, beautiful black color, and everything is groovy. Okay, but just so that we get a nice crust on the meat, we're gonna toss it in the oil and let it just glaze up like that. Okay, so I'm gonna use the biggest piece first. After we roll it around a little bit more, make sure we get the sides. Let's see how lovely that looks. We're just gonna put that in the oil, flip it over, and lay it right up against the edge. And do the same thing here. Lay this in there, roll it around in the oil a little bit. And then you decide which way you want to put it up. But now, generally, especially for cast irons and baking situations, I like to put some water in the bottom. Not a lot, just a little bit, kind of like if you're gonna do a slow cooker. So that gives just enough moisture. Hopefully it won't dry out. If you want to baste it, it's fine, but keep in mind that the meat itself is going to release a bunch of juices, so don't want it to actually like overflow. Okay, so be mindful about that. Okay, so the meat is in, and you can tell from the gloves that the oil is nice and glazed over the entire surface of the meat. There we go. It'll just sit right in there. I'll put some water up there, and then we're gonna be set and ready to go. And again, I'm just gonna kind of eyeball it here, and now it's starting to spread out, and that's gonna be enough. Now it's a pot roast. If you want to add some other stuff in there, I'm not gonna chastise you for it, right? And if you want to put an onion on there, or some peppers, or God forbid, put a potato or something on there, or What else goes good with that? Carrots, right? Stuff like that. Whatever. Just don't be excessive about it. Just have like garnishes, really. Like one potato, two potatoes maybe for these two big pieces of meat, a couple of carrots. Like, don't get carried away. Before you know it, you got a whole big thing of, guess what? Carbohydrates. Vegetables are carbohydrates. Can't get away from that. Yeah? Then we wash everything. Alright, folks, so thanks for joining in, and I'll post up a little story. Check this out later and see how this is looking when we're done. Peace.